English speaker. In this video, you're finally going to understand when to use il est or elle est over c'est and vice versa. Allez, c'est parti. Salut tout le monde and welcome back to French in Plain Sight. Moi, c'est Alex and I'm an Englishman turned French coach living in the south of France. On this channel, I help you better understand the French language as well as give you practical tips for speaking and studying so that you can become a more confident French speaker. Alors, c'est versus il est. Let's start off with some concrete examples of when we use c'est. The first way we use c'est is when introducing nouns, be it people or plants or whatever. Alors, ça, c'est mon oncle Tim. Et ça, c'est Amélie, la femme de Tim. Et ça, c'est leur petit chat Chamallow. Dis bonjour Chamallow. Ça is often added before c'est when introducing someone or something. It's just how the French speak, so I recommend learning it together as ça c'est, plus Amélie or leur petit chat or mon oncle Tim. So the first way of using c'est is to introduce nouns, whatever they may be. The second way of using c'est is to describe inanimate nouns. So not just any noun, they need to be inanimate. C'est une bonne idée. That's a good idea. C'est dommage. That's a shame. C'est loin d'ici. That's far from here. This all makes sense to English speakers. We see or hear c'est and we understand without much difficulty this is, that is, or it is. And introducing people and describing nouns is something we do with this, that, and is. A nice one-to-one translation from English to French. So, c'est for introducing nouns of any kind and describing inanimate nouns. The next part can get a bit tricky, so listen carefully as I try and simplify it. You can use both c'est and il or elle est to describe people. Tu savais qu'on avait un nouveau collègue? C'est un Anglais. Tu savais qu'on avait un nouveau collègue? Il est anglais. Tu as rencontré notre coloc Anna? C'est une Italienne. Tu as rencontré notre coloc Anna? Elle est italienne. The difference between c'est and il or elle est here is that we're using c'est with a noun, which therefore has an article like un, une, le, la, or les in front of it, and we're using il, elle est with an adjective, so there's no article in front. You can also use a noun in the il, elle form without an article in front, and it then essentially acts as an adjective. Elle est joueuse de handball. C'est une joueuse de handball. Il est manager, c'est le manager. Alors, we've dealt with how to describe people with either c'est or il, elle est, but what about inanimate nouns, like un stylo or la mère? Well, if it has already been explicitly introduced with c'est in the conversation, as we saw earlier, or if it's known from the context, you use il or elle according to the gender of the noun. I was so happy when this clicked for me for the first time. Take a look at this ad I saw for a chocolate spread, or une pâte à tartiner. In the bottom left, we see elle est fraîche, mais pas autant que vous. Elle est fraîche, mais pas autant que vous. It's elle because it's referring to the product identified, and therefore introduced to us previously by the image of the spread or the ad in general. We know what elle is. La pâte, the feminine noun. C'est frais wouldn't work here because of this rule. So it has to be elle est fraîche. Another example would be the following. Excusez-moi, vous attendez le tram? Oui, il est en retard. So why is it il est? Because le tram was introduced in the previous sentence. Le tram is masculine, il est en retard. Then we have a more advanced and more nuanced situation with c'est and il, elle est that was hard for me to understand for the longest time. Imagine you walk into a friend's new flat or house. A French person may say one of the following. Waouh, il est génial for an appartement, or elle est géniale for une maison. Or they might say, wow, c'est génial. Both are completely valid, but with the choice of phrase the French person makes, he or she is unconsciously communicating two different subtle things. Il est génial, or elle est géniale, would be specifically referring to the flat or the house being awesome, whereas c'est génial refers to something more general, such as the idea of them owning this place, or it's awesome that they bought it. C'est génial. But that's really going into the nuance. If you walk into your new friend's place, the most important thing is that you communicate that positive emotion. So whether you say c'est génial or il est, elle est génial, all good. So that's it for an overview of c'est versus il, elle est in French. How did you find it? If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments and I will get back to you. As you can see, it can be both clear and easy to decide, but can also be a bit more complicated with the nuances. But don't get so bogged down in that you let it stop you from speaking and trying. I still use c'est incorrectly, grammatically speaking, all the time in conversations. In the heat of the moment, you just have to pick one, and I find c'est is the safest choice. By the way, you can get a free copy of my guide to speaking French with more confidence via the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that thumbs up button down below. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. Merci beaucoup d'avance. C'est tout pour le moment. Je vous verrai dans une prochaine vidéo. À la prochaine. Ciao, ciao.